Hi guys, welcome back to Running Shoes Guru. My name's Brandon and today I'm reviewing the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 3. The Infinity Run has had the same sole unit for 3 years in a row. And this can only mean one thing. Sales must be very, very good. Because Nike normally changes the sole unit every 2 years. Where I live here in Malaysia, the Infinity Run is an extremely popular shoe. Even more so than the Pegasus. And this is for a number of good reasons. 1, it's got a more comfortable upper. 2, it's got a smoother ride. And 3, it's a more stylish shoe for casual wear than the Pegasus. I've been lucky enough to run in all 3 versions of the Infinity Run. The first version I liked a lot, but it had a heel slippage problem no matter how tight you tied the laces. Version 2 was a big improvement because it fixed the heel slippage problem, but it had exactly the same ride as the first version. After running in really exciting max cushion trainers like the Invincible Run and the Aurora BL, the Infinity Run felt really boring in comparison because it lacked the energy return that other newer generation midsoles have. Now, this version 3 is again only an upper update, but there are some small tweaks under the hood which change its ride character. It now weighs 10.2 ounces, which is about 289 grams for a men's US 9. And this is a little bit heavier, about 8.5 grams heavier than last year's version. But it still has the same price and the same 8mm drop. The very first time I put the Infinity Run 3 on, the most noticeable thing was the prominent arch sensation, almost like a poking into your arch. And this was also present in the first 2 versions. Now, I have very flat feet, so it always takes me a while to get used to this prominent arch sensation. My first run was an easy 9 kilometers, and what I noticed was that the upper was supremely comfortable, but it did feel thicker and less breathable than last year's version. Ride transitions were very smooth, and I also noticed the gentle rocker from the midsole geometry shape. During the first run, the shoe felt slightly firmer than last year's version. Cushioning still felt adequate, but overall it felt more efficient and not as mushy as the Infinity Run 2. However, this shoe still felt like a shoe for recovery and easy runs only. There's only one change to the sole unit of the Infinity Run 3, and it alters the ride ever so slightly. On the Infinity Run 2, it had a glued down insole, but if you forced it up, you could see that there was a large cutout underneath the insole exposing the React foam. And this allowed your foot to sit directly on the foam and it allowed direct access to it. However, with the Infinity Run 3, the insole is no longer glued down, and if you lift it up, you can see that there's a furry white strobel lining layer on top of the midsole. And this makes the ride slightly firmer. Another result of this added strobel lining is that the forefoot is not as flexible as the previous version. So this makes the rocker function more efficiently, and overall the ride feels a lot more efficient than last year's version. 2 years ago, when Nike launched the original Infinity Run, this React foam felt really squishy and soft compared to other max cushion trainers. But since then, the other brands have really improved their midsole foams and they've made it significantly bouncier and more lively. So this React foam no longer feels special or unique in any way. It's still got deep bottomless cushioning, but the React foam doesn't feel energetic or lively during toe-offs. Even though Nike doesn't classify the Infinity Run as a stability trainer, it feels like a stability trainer, and that's because of this prominent arch support and because of its really wide forefoot and rear foot, which flare out at the base. So the Infinity Run 3 feels like a very stable shoe. A rocker-shaped midsole helps to ease you through transitions, and this gives the Infinity Run a more modern, more dynamic ride than other shoes like the Pegasus. So it's a lot more fun to run in than the Pegasus. Now, you notice the rocker geometry at speeds below 5 minutes 30 per kilometer. But because of how heavy the shoe is and how thick its upper is, it's still best suited to easy runs above 5 minutes 30 per kilometer. And that's what I use this shoe for. Nike uses a softer, more flexible kind of outsole rubber on the Infinity Run 3 than other daily trainers like the Pegasus or the Structure. So this makes grip better, flexibility better, but durability is slightly lower. So far I've noticed a little bit of wear on the outsides of the outsole that are not covered with foam, and a little bit of wear on the outer lateral heel area, but it's been nothing to worry about so far. I've had no durability issues with any of my Epic Reacts or Infinity Runs in the past. And even if you wear through the outsole rubber to the midsole foam, this React foam still provides a really durable, grippy outsole. The new Flyknit upper is thicker, so it's less breathable than the last version. And this thicker Flyknit now looks like it belongs on a casual lifestyle sneaker like an Ultra Boost from 4 years ago. Now, some runners had problems with the tongue of the Infinity Run 2 when pulling it, they ripped it. So Nike remedied this by making the upper thicker and more durable than the last two versions. The tongue is still attached on both sides, so there's no tongue slide. But I found the tongue too long because it sticks up during runs. I prefer the shorter, less conspicuous tongue of the Invincible Run. There's a heel clip which is similar to the last two versions, and it stretches right around the back of the shoe. Now what this heel clip does is it cups your rear foot and provides extra stability. It also acts as guide rails for extra support. The fit of the Infinity Run 3 is true to size, and it's got a really accommodating midfoot and forefoot because of how stretchy this knit material is. So it's suitable for runners with high volume feet. The Infinity Run 3 should have been a big update with a significant ride upgrade. But instead, what we got was a shoe that's very similar to last year's version, which was very similar to the original version. After 3 years with the same sole units, the Infinity Run is in dire need of a facelift. It needs a midsole foam which is more engaging and an upper which is lighter and more breathable. When the first two versions of this shoe came out, I liked them a lot. But this version I like a lot less. It gets the job done, but it doesn't get me excited. The Infinity Run 3 is a very polished shoe and it's got no major weaknesses, but it's lacking character. It's basically the first version and the second version, but with a thicker upper and a firmer ride. At $160 US, this shoe isn't worth its asking price. Take for example the Nimbus 24. It's the same price, but it's softer and it's much more energetic. The Glide Ride 3 is also a max cushion trainer with the rocker, but its rocker works much better than this shoe. Both those shoes are lighter than the Infinity Run 3 and are much more versatile. So what do you think of the Infinity Run 3? Are you happy that they kept the same sole unit for another year? And are you planning on getting the Infinity Run 3? Let us know in the comment section down below. As usual, thanks for watching the review, and please remember to like the video and subscribe to Running Shoes Guru.